something that particularly seems relevant when we start talking about the main heading tonight, which is love, sex, and compassion. We can certainly come back to drinking at some point. It seems that we should actually be talking about what in the Sanskrit terminology is known as bodhicitta. Have people heard this term before? Can anyone throw me a definition? Entire room full of Buddhists. Yeah, Peter.
Awakened heart.
Awakened heart, right. Thank you so much. So, Bodhi, open or awake. And then Chitta, heart, mind. Not a lot of difference in terms of how it's considered in the Eastern tradition. Open heart or mind. Awake heart or mind. So this is the tough challenge for Mindfulness University. How can we remain open? How can we remain Bodhi? How can we remain awake in the midst of this city? How can we remain open even when we're out with friends on a Saturday night? How can we remain open when our lover is yelling at us? This is the contemplation that we should actually try to get into tonight. How can we continue to have an open heart in the midst of personal turmoil, global turmoil? It's incredibly hard to allow yourself to actually remain vulnerable and tender and not put up walls around your heart. Because I imagine we've all had this experience at one point or another where you've been open with someone, you've been intimate, and you take your heart and you put it out on the table. And they actually come by with a really large hammer and smash it. Right? Is this not an unfamiliar circumstance for you? Yeah, we've been there. We've all been there. So our immediate reaction is to scoop our ears back up and seal ourselves off and not allow ourselves to be open, to put walls up around our heart. Now, the beauty of our human situation is that that's not what we naturally long to do. We actually long to be open. We actually long to offer our heart. So over time, we heal in whatever way makes sense to us, and we put our heart back on the table in one way or another. So I would like to posit within the confines of our discussion this evening that this is a very valid and wonderful path. The path of remaining open. The path of seeing where we put our walls up, what causes that, and seeing through it so that we can actually continuously remain awake. I've heard so many single people say that if they're holding out for Mr. or Miss Right, if only they could go to the right bar, or the right singles night, or the right website, then that Mr. or Miss Right would be there waiting for them. As the Buddhist master Zongser Khyentse Rinpoche once said about romance, the problem is not that the right situations don't arise. It's not really that. But we always have a certain expectation. We have hopes and fears, and those lead to disappointments. When we solidify what we hope to find in a romantic partner, we're heading for a rocky road. We can make a checklist of what we're looking for in terms of physical appearance, intelligence, sense of humor, religious preference, and so on. We think that if we can find all those qualities in someone, then they are the perfect person for us. If we strictly adhere to such a list, we're setting ourselves up for failure. Instead, you can remain willing to keep an open mind. You explore everyone you encounter without a hidden agenda or checklist. You may end up meeting someone who flies in the face of what you think you need in your life to be happy, but is indeed the perfect person for you. Through keeping an open mind and heart, you may find true happiness where you least expect it. So I don't know if you guys have ever had the experience where you're like, I'm going to be single for a while, and then as soon as you're like completely open to that idea, you meet someone, right? Why is that? It's because we're actually open. It's because we're fully open to whatever we experience. I've met some of my best friends just because I was open to meeting someone at a bar, without an agenda, not saying, basically from a Buddhist perspective, there are three core reactions that we normally have when we see someone. Passion, aggression, ignorance, right? So if we're out at a bar, it could be, I like you, you're hot, right? I want to meet you. I do not like you, you are repulsive, get away from me. That's the aggression side. Or they have a wedding ring on, I'm going to ignore them. Right? So it's we have some basic responses when we meet someone out. Either as a friend, as a potential mate, whatever. We have some habitual way that we react to them. I like you, I don't like you, or I'm ignoring you. The path of being Bodhi, of being open, is to not immediately leap into that judgment, to notice it, just like we notice strong thoughts or fantasies on the cushion, and just come back to the present. Just come back to actually experiencing that person for who they are, and having an opportunity to genuinely meet them, without figuring out where this is going. So that, in itself, is a path, I think, to actually remain open with people that you meet. And it's very difficult. It really is. Because you immediately say, this person's a friend, this person's a love interest, whatever. So to actually undo those years and years and years of habitual training of how we interact with people when we meet them for the first time, is a real work. It's real work. But the idea of bodhicitta is we have this powerhouse of open right here. So we can use it. We can always call upon it to be open with new people.